From the moment we step into adulthood, most of us are fed a rigid formula. Work hard, save more, climb the ladder, retire at 65, and then, just maybe, enjoy what remains of life. But what if this formula is fundamentally broken? What if there's a way to live fully now, rather than postponing dreams for some uncertain tomorrow? The traditional 9-to-5 grind is not a law of nature. It's a convention. And conventions can be challenged. The idea that productivity equals long hours is a myth deeply ingrained in modern work culture. True productivity isn't about doing more things, it's about doing the right things, effectively and efficiently. In the old model of success, time is traded for money. The more hours you work, the more money you earn. But here's the truth. Time is your most valuable, non-renewable asset. Money can come and go. Time only goes. The key to freedom isn't working more. It's designing systems that work without you. Don't aim to live like everyone else. Aim to live like no one else can. This journey begins with a fundamental shift in mindset. Stop chasing a deferred life plan and start designing a life you don't need to escape from. The goal is not retirement. The goal is living richly and fully today. Wealth isn't just money in a bank. True wealth is measured by time and mobility. The new rich, as we'll call them, are not necessarily millionaires. They are people who've redefined success around personal freedom. Freedom to travel, to pursue passions, to spend time with family, and to work on their own terms. For them, income is only one piece of the puzzle. What's more important is control. Control over where they live, when they work, and who they work with. They aren't waiting for permission or for the right time. They understand that the world is full of tools and systems to automate, delegate, and outsource the mundane. Success isn't about having more. It's about needing less and living more. They design their lives around leverage, using their time and skills in ways that multiply results while minimizing effort. The new rich don't work harder, they work smarter. They ask different questions. What would I do if I had all the time and money in the world? Then, they reverse engineer the answer. One of the greatest barriers to living life on your own terms is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of uncertainty. But fear itself is often more damaging than the outcomes we imagine. Most people let the vague discomfort of fear prevent them from even trying. The solution? Define the fear. Break it down. What's the worst that could happen if you quit your job, started your own venture, or took that trip around the world? What if everything went wrong? Most likely, the worst-case scenario is recoverable, and far less catastrophic than your By defining fear clearly, what you're afraid of, how likely it is, how you'd recover, you take away its power. Fear setting isn't about pretending danger doesn't exist. It's about developing the emotional resilience to handle it, plan for it, and move forward despite it. There's a brutal truth we don't often confront. Most of what we do daily is unnecessary. We confuse busyness with productivity, but busy people are often just people avoiding the real work. Enter the 80-20 principle. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Identify the tasks, clients, habits, and projects that generate the most value, and eliminate the rest. Being busy is a form of laziness, lazy thinking, and indiscriminate action. Being effective means being ruthless with your time. Learn to say no. Learn to stop. Focus only on what moves the needle. Delegate or automate everything else. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something truly meaningful. Imagine waking up in the morning and realizing your business made money while you slept. That's the promise of automation, building systems that operate independently of your time. This doesn't mean working in tech or knowing code. It means leveraging tools, freelancers, and services that let you scale without burning out. Whether it's automating customer service, outsourcing repetitive tasks, or setting up passive income streams, automation is about freeing up your most valuable asset, your attention. Do only what you do best, outsource the rest. Focus on what only you can do, your creative genius, your vision, your leadership. Everything else should be handed off. Start small, delegate your email, automate bill payments, hire a virtual assistant. One step at a time, you build a machine that works so you don't have to. Now comes the final piece. Liberation. It's about taking your newfound freedom and living it. For many, this starts with remote work, proving that you can be productive outside of an office. But for others, it goes further. Full location independence. The world is your office. Coffee shops in Lisbon, co-working spaces in Bali, writing from a beach in Mexico. Living a life that blends work and adventure isn't a fantasy. It's a choice that begins with rejecting old assumptions. Reality is negotiable. Outside of science and law, all rules can be bent or broken. Liberation also means creating mini-retirements, extended breaks or sabbaticals spread throughout life, instead of saving everything for the end. Why wait until your body is tired and your curiosity dimmed? Travel now, learn languages, volunteer, rediscover who you are when you're not on autopilot. There's a major flaw in how most people approach their careers. They work to maintain a lifestyle they barely have time to enjoy. But what if you reverse that thinking? Instead of working to support your life, what if your life was the central design, and work was simply one of the elements that supported it? When you make lifestyle design the priority, everything changes. You stop asking, "How can I afford this?" and start asking, "How can I structure my time to allow this?" You start choosing activities that light you up, not ones that simply pay the bills. Design your life, or someone else will do it for you. Freedom isn't about having all the answers. It's about having the courage to ask better questions. What does your ideal day look like? How many hours do you spend working? Where do you live? Who do you spend time with? Most people never dare to imagine these details, let alone design them into their reality. But if you want to live intentionally, you must plan your lifestyle with as much care as a business plans its quarterly goals. Clarity is power. Once you define your ideal life, you can build a path toward it, deliberately, boldly, and unapologetically. A huge part of achieving freedom is letting go of outdated beliefs. We're taught to consume information endlessly, stay constantly updated, and always be in the loop. But in reality, most of this input is noise. High performers understand the power of focus. They don't try to know everything. Instead, they practice selective ignorance. They ignore anything that doesn't align with their goals or values. News headlines, gossip, emails that go nowhere, eliminated. What you choose not to do is as important as what you choose to do. Productivity is not just about what you're doing, it's about what you're avoiding. When you remove distractions, you unlock a level of concentration that allows for deep, creative work. That's where breakthroughs happen. Don't aim to be informed, aim to be effective. Let others waste their time reacting to every headline. You're here to build something timeless, not trend-based. Now comes one of the most exciting pieces of the puzzle: creating your muse. A muse is a business that supports your ideal lifestyle without chaining you to a desk. It's not about chasing startup glory or building a company to sell. It's about launching something simple, lean, and profitable. This might be an online store, a digital course, a service that can be automated, or a niche product people are passionate about. The key is low maintenance and high impact. You want something that brings in steady income with minimal involvement. The goal isn't to make millions, it's to make enough, automatically. Your muse is your engine of freedom. It gives you the ability to disconnect from hourly wages and connect with leveraged income. Instead of exchange, the beauty is that in today's world, you can launch your muse from your laptop. No office, no overhead, just an idea, a willing market, and the discipline to test until it works. One of the biggest myths about business is that you need to go big or go home. You don't. You need to go smart. The most successful muses don't start with massive budgets. They start with small tests. Before building anything, ask, will people actually buy this? Not do they like the idea, but will they pull out their wallets? Launch a simple landing page, run a small ad campaign, offer a prototype, gather real feedback, then refine. Action beats perfection. Start small, test fast, grow smart. Don't spend months in planning mode. Real learning happens when real people interact with your product or service. Let data, not opinions, guide your next step. And remember, a failed test isn't a failure. It's a shortcut to success. Build, test, tweak, repeat. That's the rhythm of modern entrepreneurship. Once your muse is live and working, the next challenge is management. But managing doesn't mean micromanaging. In fact, the goal is the opposite. Removing yourself from day-to-day operations entirely. Automation and delegation are your tools. Hire virtual assistants. Set up automatic order fulfillment. Use apps to manage your calendar, payments, and customer service. Build a system that keeps moving, whether you're online or offline. Work should serve your life, not the other way around. You should be able to run your business from a hammock, a mountain lodge, or a sidewalk cafe. You're not building a job, you're building freedom. That means creating a structure where your physical presence is irrelevant to the business's success. The less involved you are in the daily grind, the more time you have to dream, explore, and live. That's the point, isn't it? Forget the idea of working non-stop until you're old and gray. Life isn't a rehearsal. You don't know how many decades you'll have, so why save all your joy for the final chapter? Instead, break your life into mini-retirements. 3 months in South America, 6 weeks hiking across Europe, 2 months learning to surf in Bali. These aren't escapes from work. They're the rewards of intelligent lifestyle design. Retirement isn't the goal. Living fully is. Mini-retirements rejuvenate your soul, spark creativity, and expand your worldview. They're not a luxury. They're a necessity for anyone who wants to stay inspired and connected to the joy of living. And with the right systems in place, your business doesn't stop while you're away. It keeps flowing.